everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today I'm going to be recommending you guys some spring book recommendations. It's just spring. Spring is upon us. That means lots of rain and lots of flowers blooming. Spring is definitely one of my favorite seasons because it's just in that point where it's like getting warmer, but it's not blisteringly hot, and you know, I won't get sunburnt. But it's also that season where it rains all the time. There's always tornado warnings and the bugs start coming out. And I do not like bugs, especially wasps or stink bugs or bumblebees, even though I know they're endangered and I love them and appreciate them. I just don't like them all up in my business. I feel like I'm talking about bugs too much instead of books. And when I think about spring, I think about two things. I think about contemporaries because we're just getting into the month where it's almost summer. And I also think about character growth because the flowers are blooming and they're growing, and so are my characters. They're blooming, they're growing, they're becoming beautiful people, except they're fictional, so they're not actually real. So today I'm going to be recommending you guys some books where there's a lot of great character development and character growth because I feel like that just embodies the season of spring. So the first book that I'm going to be recommending you guys is The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Jennifer L. Armentrout, she is just one of the best authors out there, and if you guys haven't picked up any of her other books, I mean, I'm telling you right now, do it. One thing I love about this author is that she writes within so many genres. I mean, she writes sci-fi books, urban fantasy books, paranormal romance books, contemporary books, new adult romance books. She writes everything, and everything that she writes, I have always loved. I just can't get enough of her books. The Problem with Forever is probably one of my favorite contemporaries that I've ever read. I believe I have read this 2 times. I always reread Jennifer L. Armentrout books because they just make me so happy. This is a young adult fiction contemporary about a girl named Mallory who's gone through a lot of trauma in her past. She used to be in foster care, and the people that looked after her were incredibly abusive towards her and the boy living with her, and his name was Ryder. But then one day she gets adopted by these 2 doctors and starts living her life. She doesn't know what happened to Ryder or where he even ended up, and she's been homeschooled since then. She's a very quiet girl, very sheltered. It's very hard for her to even speak to people, especially public speaking, which I can relate on that field because I really don't like going up in front of crowds and talking. I mean, I can do it. I can pretend to do it. I can pretend like it doesn't bother me at all. But on the inside, I'm screaming. I'm screaming real loud. After being homeschooled for so long, Mallory decides that she's going to do her last year, her senior year at a public high school. She's going to try and take that step. And on the first day of her senior year, guess who is there? Guess who is at that high school? Ryder. It is such a good book. Like, the romance between these 2 characters is just so pure and loving. And I love seeing Mallory's character development because over this book she learns that, you know, she can speak out. She learns to find her own voice. Ryder often calls her Mouse because like she's so quiet. Like, she does not like to talk at all. It is just such a good book, and I just love it so much. I think you guys will too. The next book is Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry. Another one of my all-time favorite authors. Katie McGarry writes some of the best contemporary books with like the best romance in them. This book is a YA contemporary about a girl named Echo. Echo is a mystery to a lot of people. She used to be really popular, but now she's not. Nobody knows how she got all these scars on her arms. Not even Echo knows how she got all these scars on her arms. She's just a huge mystery. She likes to keep her distance away from people, but then she meets this boy named Noah, and Noah is her complete opposite. Noah is a loner. He is a bad boy. He is also a foster kid because his family was ripped apart when his parents died in a fire. His 2 little brothers have been adopted by this other family, and so he's going through a lot of trauma himself. These 2 meet, sparks are flying. It's like a roller coaster ride. It is wonderful the way that these 2 characters come together, and they're complete opposites, but they relate on so many like levels, and they just begin to heal each other. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful series. Each book in the series is based off of different characters that you will see in every single book. I love contemporary series where characters connect, intertwine. You can read them as standalones, But I mean, I just like reading them like one at a time, like together, because you'll just see how each of the characters grow each book. The next book I'm going to be recommending you guys is The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. Sarah Dessen is like the queen of character development. I have learned so many life lessons by reading Sarah Dessen books. I mean, it's a YA teen novel, so they have like a little bit of romance in them, but like it mostly just focuses on the main character and her character development and like her family, her friendship, relationships, just like everything around this character. It's a very realistic novel. Our main character, Macy, is kind of a control freak. But this summer, everything is just not going so well. Her boyfriend is going away on a brain camp. She has to get a job at this catering place. She meets a boy named Wes. Throughout the book, Macy learns to take these unexpected events that happen in her life and use them and think of them as gifts, because you can't control everything in life. This book also does a really great job of talking about grief and what a person feels like when they're going through grief after they've lost someone, because Macy has just lost her dad, and he was like her confidant, her best friend. He's no longer in her life, so she's also learning how to overcome that. I loved it so much. There's so many wonderful Sarah Dessen books out there. I feel like she is the queen of character development. You learn so much, like personally, while you read her books. And the next book I'm recommending you guys is a fantasy, paranormal urban fantasy, and that is WhiteHot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This trilogy is about a girl named Layla. Layla lives in a world where there are these things called wardens. They're half human, half gargoyle, and they fight off demons. It kind of reminds me of the Mortal Instruments in a way, because the wardens all have like institutes in like different cities. Layla lives in this one institute, but she's kind of looked down upon because she is half warden, half demon. So very different. People look down upon her. They're scared of her because Layla has this ability that if she kisses you, or if she gets like really close up to your face, she might accidentally, I don't know, like suck your soul right out of your body just. And so because of that, Layla doesn't like to get close to people, and she doesn't, I just feel like she doesn't embrace herself as a person, because she's kind of afraid to be herself, because everyone looks at her and is like, whoa, don't get too close to me. I like my soul. I want to keep it as it is. But then she meets this character, and his name is Roth, and he's a demon. So she can't suck out his soul. And throughout the book, she just learns to become herself and to take herself for what she is. And it's wonderful. It's got a wonderful romance. There's even a spin-off series. The first book just came out last summer. The next book comes out this summer, and I'm so excited for it. And the last book that I'm going to be recommending you guys is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This is definitely teetering on the sense of like summer contemporary, because it takes place in the summer. This book is about a girl named Emily. Emily has this best friend named Sloane. Emily basically just follows after whatever Sloane wants to do. She's not a very independent character. Whatever Sloane wants to do, Emily will do. But then one summer, Sloane is gone, Sloane is missing, but she leaves this list of stuff that she wants Emily to do during the summer months, and Emily thinks if she does every single thing on this list, then it will lead her to her best friend. I think this book is perfect for spring because it is all about character growth, because at the beginning of this book, like, Emily does not know what to do with herself without Sloane. She doesn't know herself without Sloane, and now that she doesn't have her best friend, she's kind of having to learn how to be herself. I love seeing the way that she grew throughout this novel, along with doing all this stuff on this list. Like the first one on the list is kiss a stranger, go skinny dipping, steal something. It's a fun read, and I think you guys will really enjoy it, especially going into the summer months. Like, it's so much fun to like read contemporaries and just like embrace the warm spring and summer times. So there you have it, guys. Those are all my spring recommendations. I hope you guys really enjoyed these recommendations, and I hope you guys pick some of these books up and look into some of these authors, because they are some of my favorites. And I hope you guys have a wonderful spring season. Go outside, smell the beautiful blooming flowers. The sun is starting to come out. People are mowing their yards. It's a wonderful sound. I love waking up to the birds singing and someone mowing their yard. It's just great. It just makes my heart happy. So that is it for today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!